Fellas, it gets to a point where we have to admit, where is all the interesting stuff that keeps these Dragon Ball games alive, such as co-op, customization, additional maps, events, etc, etc. Keep in mind, Sparking Zero is one of the only Dragon Ball games in recent history that actually don't have a feature where you can play with other people in the same missions. Xenoverse 2 has raids, parallel quests, expert missions, Fighters has raids, arena battles, even Battle of Z had supporting characters follow you side by side, and even Dragon Ball Z Kakarot has AI supporting you side by side in certain missions, or just in the overworld in general. But Sparking Zero, purely a 1v1 game, where even if you do a team battle, you're just still fighting 1v1. And on top of that, you can't customize these characters and make them look any different. You can't make Goku Black wear like a pink gi like in Xenoverse. You can't fight on Kami's Lookout, the open air, space, Planet Vegeta. Just Tenkaichi 3 had Planet Vegeta as a map. It had alien planets as a map, but Sparking Zero doesn't. How did this happen? Sparking Zero is just kind of, it's not really rocking right now, you know. It's supposed to go with the flow, but right now it's just kind of drowning in the waves. Hello everybody, it's me again, Steve Doja here, back with another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero video, and I'm going to talk about, yes, just everything missing from the game again in general. Now, again, the DLC came out. This is more of the things I wanted to talk about in the last video that I didn't get the chance to. So let's just start with no new costumes. I think it is pretty weird how we don't have any costumes for the Daima characters. You could say that they don't really change or dress up or wear too many different things. Sure, but I would at least like some variation. Maybe like Daima Goku with GT Goku's clothes, or even an update to GT Goku that gives him Daima Goku's clothes. Anything weird or interesting like that would have been cool. Maybe like a training suit mini for Vegeta mini. I don't know, man. Just, it'd be nice to get these things, but I guess that requires like effort, and it's not mandatory. They're probably only checking off things on the list that they have to actually mandatorily follow, which is why Goku has an incomplete ultimate attack, which is really unfortunate, but it's whatever, you know. Okay, cool. Well, what about Legendary Warrior Face-Off? Will we see another one of those? I'm going to be real. Legendary Warrior Face-Off was trash last time. It's going to be trash again if it shows up. But the benefit to Legendary Warrior Face-Off is that it at least shows an attempt to want to give the player something to work with. This Legendary Warrior Face-Off is not doing that at all because we don't even have one. We don't even have one. So they're not even giving us a new stage. We already know what... Look, at this point, I honestly believe DLC 3 is not going to have a new stage. It's not going to have the first Demon World final arena that Goku fought Gomer, and I'm pretty sure it's just not going to have that. And that's very unfortunate because... What the hell? Why would you make your fan base believe, oh yeah, there's no way we get a new stage because we're so conditioned to getting literally nothing, that I have no faith that we'll get a new stage. That's so tragic. Like, that's I don't like that. But there's a lot of things that go into this game in general when it comes to lack of content. No new capsules either. Again, capsules are a very minor thing. You don't even get that many people playing this game to begin with to even try capsules. But for the people who are playing custom battles, at least give them a bone. Give them more capsules to work with. Let them make more fun scenarios. But Sparking Zero doesn't even want to do that either. Who is Sparking Zero made for? Who does it cater to? It can't cater to just action junkies because the fighting's kind of weak. I think another pretty big factor is having no new game modes or like events or anything while the game is just staying as basic as it is. Oh, here's a great example. Xenoverse 2 at least mixes things up every now and then with a light raid or with an actual just pure fully like new on raid, or even the updates for the DLCs in Xenoverse 2 might actually have like lots of free content. A good example is Sparking Zero technically doesn't really give out like new free content. The most we do is a patch. A patch is the free content. But, like, it should be more than that. Like, come on. It should be more than just a patch, you know? This is a game that has the ability to customize characters. It's got, like, different capsules. It's got so many different options, different outfits, different costumes, all these other things. It should have more than just patch as the free content. Like, think about it. Sparking Zero technically doesn't get a single new thing added to it until a DLC gets added, which is shocking. Because Xenoverse 2 at least to give us like new outfits and new super souls, new stages, new events. Even Dragon Ball FighterZ updated the arena matches so that way arena match has like way more game modes, and when they did that, that was so cool, man. Not to mention the raid battles and fighters were so fun. I basically don't even play Dragon Ball FighterZ, but almost every time there was a new raid I did it because it was just a blast, you know. It was just actually fun to do. And I get people say that, oh, the game would cost more and all that stuff if it did all that. That's fine. I'm not even kidding. If Sparking Zero cost more but it was a good game, that'd be hype. I think part of the issue with Sparking Zero is the fact that it costs as much as it did, or a lot of people bought the game pre-order because the pre-order bonus was pretty good. You get Dragon Ball Daima Goku early, which is the newest Dragon Ball character, period, at the time. And you get to play the game 3 days early, which is really hype for a lot of people. It reminds me of the way old pre-order bonuses for video games used to work, where you'd get like a unique set of like armor or something in like Halo, and you get to play the game like a few days early or something. You know, stuff like that. It was like a more classic video game pre-order bonus. And I think that did like get a lot of people. And don't forget, Sparking Zero made like 3 million. sales in like its first day, and I'm pretty sure most of those sales were the pre-order bonuses. So if the game just didn't cost as much as it did, then people would probably be like more accepting about it. I think a pretty good example is Dragon Ball The Breakers. I'm pretty sure almost no one would have anything bad to say about Breakers other than the game is a little bad and it's pay to win because it's gacha and all that stuff, if the game was free. Breakers has a $20 entry fee, which is ridiculous for a game with very, very, very non-existent content, and the whole game is a gacha. Like, that's just so stupid, man. Like, I don't know. Go play Genshin Impact. I know Genshin Impact is like a taboo video game now, but that game, despite the fact that people like meme on Genshin a lot, when that game first released, free game with like this Breath of the Wild-esque like map layout, and you can play it multiple different characters running for a giant open world, stuff like that is such an easy draw for people. But Breakers is like $20 entry fee, gacha roll system to get skills that might suck. Like, this isn't like other gacha games, bro. If you play Dokkan or Legends and the newest unit comes out, it doesn't even have to be a top 1 unit, but you can see the merit in pulling it, right? But in Breakers' case, a new skill would come out and it'd just be straight up bad. Like, it would straight up just be actually bad. Not like, oh, if you try hard enough. No, it'd be actually bad, and that's the only skill you would get for like 3 months, because that's how long a season lasts. If Breakers was a free game, that'd be way more forgiving. Even with how egregious the gacha is, it'd be way more forgiving, and it'd be way easier for people to ease up on the game, because then they'd be able to play with their friends. But imagine your friend, oh, let's play Dragon Ball The Breakers, $20 entry fee. No, they're not going to play it. And the same thing with Sparking Zero. Oh, let's play Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, $60 entry fee for no content. Like, that's just tragic. I mean, the thing is, if the game actually entertained people regularly, though, I guess this wouldn't be an issue. Like, if Sparking Zero had the ability to keep you entertained all the time. I'm trying to think of games that do this. Games that have, like, weekly updates, monthly updates, again, gacha games, Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, all these kind of, like, action games I'm thinking of that have, like, rotations for their new content. Like, 20 days, boom, new content. Every 20 days, boom, new content. Every 20 days, boom, new content. You could say, yeah, it's a gacha game, it's got to do that stuff, but then you know, Sparking Zero, it's like, I'm not saying we should get something new every 20 days in Sparking Zero's case, but you could at least patch the game more frequently, you could update the game more frequently, you could add new costumes, add events, you know, add one single event to the game that works exactly like Dragon Ball FighterZ Raid, and I promise you that would bring in more players than the DLC you just released. I'm being so serious. If you add in one event where 3 players all join up in a lobby, and they all pick their character, player 1 picks Goku, player 2, Goku Black, player 3 picks like Gogeta or something, right? If you just did that, and every time you swapped teammates, it swapped to the other player, so it was their turn to fight, that would bring in more players than the most recent DLC. And those players would actually stay, because it'd give people a chance to play with randoms, or play with their friends, and variety is the spice of life. You can either play with some trash randoms, and then you can have your funny moments where you're like, oh, this guy's so bad, look at this guy I paired up with, or you could pair up with like an absolute like deity who's styling on the boss, hitting emotes in the middle of his combos and stuff like that. Or you could just have a silly good old time with your friends. You know, you tag one of your friends in, he's not really paying attention, he gets smoked immediately by the raid boss's ultimate attack. I'm fighting for my friends. There's so many fun moments you could have if you just let people be able to like actually have like actually have fun. You know, I think that's the issue with Sparking Zero. Sparking Zero doesn't provide fun on a regular enough basis. The fun exists in bursts where you turn the game on, you do one cool thing, maybe in like an online or offline match, or you play a cool custom battle, or a DLC comes out and you're like, oh, that was cool, and then you're over it in like a few minutes, an hour, and then you just drop the game again. Like, the bursts of fun for Sparking Zero needs to be like a lot more than just, oh, I did one match, and the one match was okay at best, and now I'm gonna turn the game off. You know what I mean? It needs to do more. Speaking of custom battle, I'm sure a lot of you guys remember Afro Senju's, because it's been making the rounds now. Everyone's been clowning on Afro forever, but I don't blame Afro, alright? It's reasonable to have expectations of something, but Afro's tweet where he goes, oh, I'm gonna be uploading Sparking Zero custom battles for like the next 3 years. And the game isn't even a year old. I don't think the game's not even 8 months old, I'm pretty sure. And he's already dropped a game. So many people have dropped a game. So many content creators in general have just stopped doing Sparking Zero stuff. And here's the funniest part too. With the way it's kind of like any ecosystem, right? But especially with the content creating ecosystem, you'd think having people like Afro Senju, Rhymestyle, Syriax, Dotodoi, all the super big YouTubers not play Sparking Zero would be like, okay, that means it's a feeding frenzy for everyone else that decided to stay. Because the same thing happened with Xenoverse, right? Anytime Rhyme or Syriax took a break from Xenoverse, it was basically like a feeding frenzy for every other content creator. They just got to eat. because you know the big fishies they're out right now. They're doing something else right now. So all the little guys can get their bites in. That just did not happen to Sparking Zero. Game has been in development for 5 years. The most overhyped Dragon Ball game ever of all time. All the big content creators drop it in like a month, and no one like. You guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Who are some Dragon Ball Sparking Zero content creators you actually like? Because I want to check how many people actually know another content creator in the Sparking Zero scene. I feel like it's not like Xenoverse where everyone knew each other. Despite the way Xenoverse was like, genuinely, everyone knew each other in Xenoverse, you know, because everyone was, people were actually looking at that game. But no one's looking at Sparking Zero. Even, again, with the big YouTubers, you know, not pulling the most views ever that they can from the game, or not gaining a subscriber count that is, you know, adequate to the amount of work they put in. They're obviously going to, you know, put the game on the back burner and come back to it another time. And in the meantime, you'd think, okay, now it's time for the little guys to grow their channels and stuff like that. But they can't. Sparking Zero is not... It's not a viable game for any kind of channel growth for anyone, to be honest. So it's actually really, really tragic. Because their fans are going to notice that they're not playing the game and be like, oh, I guess the game's not great. And their fans aren't going to buy the game. And their fans are also going to stop watching other content on the game. Because to their knowledge, if my GOAT content creator didn't cover it, then why would I have any interest? And that's extremely fair. That's extremely fair. New Dragon Ball game, new hype DLC thing. The YouTuber just skips it. You would go, okay, I guess the DLC just wasn't good because it'd be on the top of his priority list if it was. And I hate to do this whole talking about views only thing because it makes it sound like as if I'm just like, oh guys, look at me, I'm a YouTuber as well. But like, Xenoverse 2, like, I swear to God, and I'm being so serious, Xenoverse 2 genuinely brings in like more views than Sparking Zero videos. And that's like 6 years, 8 years after the game has been out. If Xenoverse 2 drops any DLC, Beast Gohan DLC, right? When did that come out? Like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? That DLC came out, and that DLC was... That was one of those feeding frenzies I'm talking about, you know? New content drops, everyone gets their fun, everyone takes a bite. You know, we're all like a bunch of piranhas eating the fully milked cow that is Xenoverse 2. But the cow still has milk. Everyone's getting a sizable chunk from it, you know? We're all eating good. And then Sparking Zero drops new DLC, and it just doesn't reflect. And keep in mind, Daima characters are new. These are new characters, but you still can't play these characters in Xenoverse 2, you know? So it's weird that Xenoverse 2 still actually pulls in more traction than Sparking Zero, even after... Again, Xenoverse 2 literally has years over Sparking Zero. Sparking Zero is not even a year old. Xenoverse 2 is 8 years old now, I'm pretty sure. Onto its 9th year. This game is ancient, alright? This game is ancient. And if it drops the Diamond DLC pack right now, or next week, or whenever the hell it feels like dropping it, I promise you it will have more traction than Daima DLC 2 that we just got. I don't know, what happened to Sparking Zero was just like kind of crazy tragic, because like how did we get to this point? I feel like it should have never got to this point where we're too busy just going, oh, the game this, the game that. I don't know how to describe it. Sparking Zero doesn't even feel like as great as Tenkaichi 3, I guess. Like, even in terms of content, I feel like there's just way less to do because they put everything into custom battle mode, but custom battle mode itself isn't even that hype. And the custom battle modes that get promoted on the algorithm for the actual game mode are like the laziest, most generic schlock custom battles. It's always Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus Blue Goku, Ultra Instinct Goku versus Beast Gohan, some generic super hard fight with Broly. You know, it's never any of the unique, funny things or even high quality made things that you'd expect. It's usually just the same, oh look, Goku's fighting some guy, and then a super hard Broly fight. And yeah, and it's like, okay, that kind of sucks. I'm not trying to like thumbs down everyone who actually puts like heart and soul into their custom battle, but a lot of the really great custom battles are just going massively under the radar. I guess it's just like everything else in life, right? You got some genuine talent out there, but it's not being seen because someone made Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and for some reason that's still on the top page for like a month. Like, get that crap out of here. I want to see new stuff, you know? Now that Beast Gohan isn't like the newest DLC ever, we can finally get some real creative talent on board. I'm trying to see some new custom battles. And honestly, I think that's a pretty solid place to end the video. Again, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below about all of this. I think these are features that are pretty easy to add into the game. All of these features I picked are things from previous Dragon Ball games, or the things I think would be very easy for them to do. Just do like Tenkaichi, right? The tag team Tenkaichi thing with the co-op, that's doable. They already did it in Dragon Ball Z Tag Team Tenkaichi. They can do it again in Sparking Zero. You could say, yeah, maybe the game's higher quality. It could be harder. But they definitely could just, like, you know, make it map specific, lower the graphics on that game mode or something, limit it to a few characters and release more and more characters as, you know, they update it. Stuff like that would be fire, but I think that's a good place to end the video regardless. I do love you all. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you fellas all next time. Take care and peace.